All right, welcome back, you Inglorious Bastards and Magnificent. It is I, Doc Camo, and we're back for another thought of the day. And today we're going to do something different. We're not really going to look at local news or things that are going on, the circus or whatnot. We've talked a lot of big game about bettering yourself and becoming a better man for, what's coming, to make sure you're prepared if it gets bad, going bad, and all that. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some men issues, like men today are not the men of yesterday anymore, and we need to change that. We're going to talk about the importance of perseverance. We're going to talk about the fact that men are never, ever, ever going to be loved for anything more than they can provide. It's just the way of life. Only women and children are loved unconditionally, and you can argue there are occasions where women and children aren't even loved unconditionally. So it is what it is. You are only ever going to be loved and cared for by what you provide somebody. You're always providing somebody something. Nobody's loving you unconditionally, but we'll get back to that. And we're going to talk about the importance of just being a man, going for your purpose, doing the right thing. And I'm shutting my phone off. But anyways, let's get into this article, and let me shut my fucking phone ringing down, and we're going to get into this, and we're going to go right into the man's health right now. Okay. Here we go. So this is Forbes. Most of what we're going to go over is from Forbes today. So you're not the man your father was. You're not. According to a recent, so this article is old, but so like that the problem, because it hasn't been addressed, is most likely worse. Though if you're not a man that needs this issue, good for you, but you should go check to see if you're this issue, because it's not something they generally monitor. But generation after generation, our male testosterone levels have been falling since here it says the 80s, but we'll get into that. And it's we're becoming sterile. According to a report recent from JAMA, testosterone therapy among American men is on the rise. From 2010 to 2013, prescriptions more than doubled, which researchers partially attribute to ubiquitous drug marketing campaigns urging older men to boost lower T levels. The swell of interest reflects a genuine physiological shift across the population. Men today have less testosterone compared to the men of the same age a generation ago. Asking why, this trend still continues today. Asking why requires untangling complex web of social, environmental, and behavioral factors that are dismantling age-old ideas about masculinity and triggering real anxiety over changing gender roles. Women's birth control doesn't filter out of the pee; it goes into the water, and that gets into men. That helps with we put estrogen in dairy cows to increase milk production. That helps lower men's testosterone levels. Some of the foods we're eating are bad for our testosterone levels. We're not as active in exercising much, which is also bad for our testosterone levels. And we need to adjust fire and unfuck that. Studies, men need to become men again. Studies show that men's testosterone levels have been declining for decades. The most prominent 2000 study, decades, a journal, and nobody's been talking about it. Nobody even thinks it's a problem. They just, these are the new normal numbers. These are the new normal numbers. No, it's not fucking normal. It's a problem. The most prominent study in Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism revealed a substantial drop in U.S. men's testosterone levels since the 1980s, with average levels declining about 1% per year. This means, for example, a 6-year-old man in 2004 had testosterone levels 70% lower than those of a 60-year-old man in 1987. Another study of Danish men produced similar findings, with double digits declining among men born in the 1960s compared to those born in the 1920s. This is happening all over the Western world. There may be a war on men going on, if you believe that stuff or not. I know that's one of the most popularly held beliefs, but you can't control what society pushes on you. All you can control is how you react to it, and you got to become the better you can be. Like, this is your health. Like, go get your testosterone checked and unfuck this. You'll thank me for it. You'll exercise quicker. You'll lose fat better. You'll have more energy. You'll feel healthier. It'll change your world. The challenges to men's health don't end there. Rates on certain reproductive disorders like testicular cancer have risen over time, while multiple European studies have found that the sperm counts are sinking. These trends coincide with the decline of musculoskeletal strength among young men in a 2016 study. See, all of these things react to each other. If we don't have the right testosterone levels, our bodies are not going to function correctly. It is the primary male hormone. This average 20 to 34-year-old man could apply 98 pounds of force with the right hand grip, down from 117 pounds by a man of the same age in 1985. Though grip strength isn't necessarily a proxy for overall fitness, it is a strong predictor of future mortality. What's behind all of the downward trends? The answer is complicated. The decline in testosterone levels is almost certainly linked to higher rates of obesity, which suppresses testosterone, and many linked to lower rates of smoking in men, since nicotine is a potent aromastase inhibitor. The 2000 study, however, the age-matched declines persisted over controlling for those variables. Many observers put more weight on increased exposure to environmental toxins such as pesticides, parabens, and chemical common in household products like palates and Barthol A. So, it's a whole amalgamation of a bunch of different things that are threatening your health because it's lowering your T levels. And you should take my advice and go talk to your doctor. Only your doctor can tell you if you have this problem, but most of us do. Also playing a role, long-term shifts in the way we work and live. Young men are far less likely to hold jobs in manual labor, so they don't have to be physically strong in previous generations. Meanwhile, certain forces of close relationships, such as marriage, fatherhood, and increased time spent with children, are casually linked to lower testosterone levels. Yet here again, the evidence is muddled. On the one hand, Gen X and millennial men are marrying later and having fewer kids. On the other hand, young men today are more likely to live with other people, which may promote pro-social hormones like oxytocin that are natural antagonists to testosterone, and those who are fathers are spending more time with their children. I guess that's true. I mean, there's all sorts of that goes into that. We're going to continue here for a little bit. One reason why it is hard to pinpoint what is driving the declines is the sheer number of factors that could be in play. Yes, like I said, it's amalgamation. To account for low test researchers have cited other lifestyle trends. So it doesn't. There's a whole bunch of things that could be the reason why your testosterone, you could be in that lower testosterone bracket, and you got to go to your doctor and get your testosterone level lowered so you can see what the levels are at, and you can look up what the levels are supposed to be, and you can create a plan to attack that. You can sit down, you can figure out what factors are at play, and you can slowly eliminate those until you have a nice healthy T level, and you're living the best. You're living as the best version of you can ever live. I'm just saying. Moving right along, we're going to talk about. I know how doing things is easier said than done, and we all like to give up when we think it's like beards. Men want to grow beards, right? We'll use this as an example, right? They start growing their beard, and then their face gets all itchy, and they stop growing their beard because they don't like the way it feels or the way it looks and such. But had they used beard product like beard oil on their face would not be so itchy, and you condition in your beard, and you wash it every couple of days, you condition it every day, you brush it and you shape it, and you use beard product. Eventually you'll push through that awkward stage and your beard will look better. Like, my beard looks much better than it's been looking this entire time. This is like a year, got it cut up, got it shaped up, and now it grows some more. Condition it every day. Beard oil, beard balm. I persevered through that. I persevered because I tried a couple times, and I'm guilty of that. Now I'm persevering. I'm continuing to go. So let's talk about go back to Forbes and talk about the importance of perseverance, because it's important in everything that we do. Man or woman, entrepreneurs, it's a woman's right in this. Like, this perseverance is probably the single most important skill for success in anything you do. Even if you've forgotten that, you've been successful before and you're trying to be successful again, maybe you just need a reminder, but let's get into this. There are a lot of qualities needed and required in starting and running your own business, or anything you do actually. Intelligence, creativity, ambition are all required in some measure if you hope to overcome the barriers to entry into entrepreneurship. While the virtue of the system is that ostensibly anyone can start their own business, there is a test of those innate characteristics in the undertaking, and ultimately determines those who pursue the path from those who don't. It is an obvious oversimplification, certainly. There are barriers to entrepreneurship that have little to do with ability that prevent many from even trying. Yeah, the perseverance. Yep. And even in just world with any such barriers removed and equal access granted to all, there would still be those who would fall just short of the very nature of the enterprise. Even the best among us get it wrong sometimes. It's true. We fail, but you got to fail forward. What perhaps underappreciated or less considered is the role that our determination to go on plays in the ultimate success of our business. Like if you don't muddle through the bad and persevere and continue going, you are gonna fail, even if you could succeed. And so instead of like failing on purpose because you don't think you can succeed, just continue going and fail. Learn from that failure and fail forward. Persevere. Sex a business. It is our brains that elevate us to a place where we're able to pursue our dreams with the company of our own, but it is often hard heads and stiff backs that enable it to continue on. Perseverance and persistence are equally crucial in the work permitted to turn a business into a viable enterprise, given the challenges and roadblocks thrown up along the way. And yet perseverance is a quality that gets less than it is due in our documentation of success stories. We must sooner praise genius and creativity, both ethereal and spiritual and easy recognizable as something special and inspiring in these masses. There are certain traits among like perseverance. So different successful people have different traits. They're successful in different ways. But the one trait that they all share is perseverance. They share other traits too, but perseverance is the most important one. It really is. The quality less gets the air due to our doctorate story that we had such soon appraises genius and creativity, both ethereal and spiritual, and easily recognizable as something special and inspiring in the masses. And as we like to think genius effortless, we lead the work in the iteration that was required to arrive at the point. Determination and a refusal to quit are well suited to the scrappy underdog stories we put up on screen, but they sully our notions of our elites so that the machinations are left behind the curtain. I mean, that was a mouthful, but it's true. We don't highlight people's failures. We just highlight their success. Like a person's success stories, like the road is paved with their failures and their perseverance through them. They kept failing forward. None of us get to where we are in life without some level of grit and perseverance. Those are those whom more is unfairly asked in the way of perseverance by virtue of their birth, and others by whom advantages are immediately accrued by the same birth, but with few expectations. All will face challenges, great and small, throughout their life, ones that we simply have to push our way through. On those occasions, our intellect and ambition may help us navigate the challenge, but it is our ability to withstand those trials that we ultimately will see on the other side. And here's another ad that they just put everywhere now. I should probably get an ad blocker because then we won't be bombarded by those stupid damn ads. I really don't like that. The life of our business often play out much as life itself does. We try, we fail, we get lucky, we fall into bad luck, and occasionally we make our own luck, and eventually everything ends out one way or another. I mean, that is true. Some people fail, and they fail a lot, and they eventually succeed. And then some people don't succeed because they don't even try. Or they stop trying after they fail. They don't have that perseverance. They don't keep going. It's like, where are we? Things will break against you in your business far more often than you like, and probably more than you feel is fair. Like that Rocky speech, nothing hits you harder than life. And if you let it, life will beat you down, and it will keep you there if you let it. Like that's just how it works. Nobody's gonna do it for you. You have to have the perseverance and the grit to do it yourself. There's no other way forward. Where were we? In times like that, we have to be able to put our heads down and keep it at it when it might seem easier to give up or more cathartic to sit in your office and complain about the unfairness of the universe. Occasionally, those bad breaks will be of your own doing. Mistakes are much part of your business as they are life, and sometimes those mistakes are consequences in the immediate and down the road. We could again just give up and throw in the towel, but instead we persevere and work to correct what we can, and we work past what we can't, and we become a better version of ourselves. That's part of becoming it goes more than just your work ethic. You have to persevere through your failures in order to become the version of you that you want to be. Whatever your goal is, if you fail, you have to push through that failure and keep going until you get your goal. You can't let it you don't have a fallback plan. Don't have just go. Go get it done. Conquer your dreams.